All right, so today we're diving deep into atopic dermatitis,
Okay.
or eczema, as it's more commonly known.
Right.
And you've sent over some really fascinating research here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like we're getting into like the cutting edge of what's going on in this field.
Absolutely. Yeah. The excerpts you shared from the Navigating the Evolving Landscape article in Allergy are just packed with insights.
Yeah.
It's really kind of remarkable how much our understanding of this condition has evolved,
Yeah.
even in just the last few years.
Yeah, and one thing that really struck me when I was reading through this
Mhm.
is how it kind of challenges the perception that atopic dermatitis is just like a skin problem,
Right.
you know?
It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It really is this sort of complex interplay of factors.
Yeah.
And I think starting with that all-important epithelial barrier is really essential.
Yeah.
You can think of it as like the frontline defense of your skin.
Okay.
Like this is what's protecting you from the outside world. But in atopic dermatitis, that barrier is compromised,
Sorry.
which then allows all sorts of things to get in and disrupt the balance.
And we're not just talking about like allergens here either.
Right.
Like the article even mentions laundry detergent
Mm-hmm.
as something that can have an effect.
Right, and that's what makes this so intriguing.
Yeah.
Even something as commonplace as what we use to wash our clothes can have implications for our skin. Anionic surfactants, which are found in detergents, can actually weaken the skin barrier
Okay.
in some individuals, potentially making them more susceptible to atopic dermatitis.
So it's like even our simple choices, like
Yeah,
what laundry detergent we use,
absolutely.
could have an effect on our skin health.
Right.
That's kind of a powerful concept.
Yeah. And it leads us to, that fascinating idea of the immunological march in atopic dermatitis.
Okay.
Basically, the immune system takes a detour from its normal developmental path, almost like it's following a different set of instructions.
So walk me through this, like how is this different from how our immune system like normally changes as we age?
Okay, so think of it this way.
Okay.
Our immune system matures over time,
Mhm.
right? It
Mhm.
learns to distinguish friend from foe.
Yeah.
But in atopic dermatitis, this process goes awry,
Okay.
leading to heightened reactivity and a predisposition to allergies.
And this is what's called the atopic march,
That's exactly right.
where people might go on to develop
Yeah.
other conditions,
Yeah.
like asthma or hay fever.
Exactly.
So if you intervene early with atopic dermatitis,
Right.
you could prevent these later complications.
That is a huge area of research.
Wow.
If we can understand what triggers this march,
Yeah.
we might be able to develop strategies to sort of redirect the immune system towards a healthier path.
Yeah. That makes me think about the exposome,
Mm-hmm.
that idea that our environment plays a huge role
Yes.
in atopic dermatitis and not just allergens like pollen or dust mites.
Right. You're spot on. The exposome encompasses everything from climate change and pollution to the food we eat and the microbes we encounter.
Yeah.
It's this intricate web of influences
Yeah.
that can either exacerbate or protect against atopic dermatitis.
And speaking of like surprising connections,
Mhm.
the article mentioned one between climate change and red meat allergies.
Right.
Can you unpack that for us a little bit?
It's fascinating,
Yeah.
but also kind of unsettling.
Right.
With rising temperatures,
Yeah.
ticks are expanding their range,
Right.
and they carry with them a sugar molecule called alpha-gal.
Okay.
And when people are bitten by these ticks,
Mm-hmm.
they can develop an allergy to this molecule,
Okay.
which is also found in red meat.
So climate change is indirectly contributing to a rise in red meat allergies.
Right.
Wow. So what are the broader implications of this?
Well, I think it's a sobering reminder that the impact of climate change
Yeah.
extends far beyond rising sea levels and extreme weather events. It can actually alter the very fabric of our health,
Wow.
even down to the food we can safely consume.
Yeah. But the article also mentioned something called the farm effect.
Yes.
What is that?
So the farm effect refers to the observation that children who grow up on farms,
Mm-hmm.
particularly those with livestock,
Okay.
have a lower risk of developing allergies and asthma
Interesting.
compared to their urban counterparts.
Okay.
And it's thought that exposure to a greater diversity of microbes in these environments might play a role in sort of training the immune system early on,
Got it.
making it less prone to overreacting to harmless substances later in life.
So growing up surrounded by farm animals and all those microbes
Right.
can actually be beneficial.
It seems counterintuitive,
It does.
doesn't it?
Right.
But that's the beauty of the human body.
Yeah.
It's constantly interacting with its environment adapting, and learning.
Right.
And understanding this intricate relationship is key to unraveling the complexities of atopic dermatitis.
Well, it seems like research is really moving beyond
Absolutely.
just treating the symptoms.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
really about understanding.
It's about the whole picture,
Yeah, the whole picture.
from the environment to the immune system,
Yeah.
and even the role of the brain.
So let's talk about itch.
Okay.
That's kind of the hallmark of atopic dermatitis.
Right.
Why does it go beyond just like an uncomfortable feeling?
Well, the itch-scratch cycle is a perfect example.
Yeah.
It's this vicious loop where inflammatory signals in the skin
Right.
trigger those nerve endings, sending messages to the brain that are interpreted as itch.
Okay.
And that urge to scratch then damages the skin further,
Right.
releasing even more inflammatory signals and amplifying the itch sensation.
So it's like this runaway train that you can't stop.
Exactly. And what's even more fascinating is that not everyone experiences itch in the same way.
Oh, really?
Researchers are now exploring the concept of neuroendotypes, which are basically individual differences in how the nervous system processes itch signals.
So like different itch personalities.
Exactly. And understanding these differences could lead to more personalized treatment approaches,
Okay.
targeting the specific pathways involved in each person's itch experience.
Wow, that's incredible.
It really opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for managing this relentless symptom.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that treating atopic dermatitis effectively
Right.
means addressing the whole person.
Yes.
Its mental well-being,
Yeah.
as well as their physical symptoms.
Absolutely.
It's about improving their quality of life,
Yeah.
not just managing a skin condition.
I couldn't agree more. And that's where things get really exciting as we delve into the latest advancements in treatment,
Okay.
which is where we'll pick up in part 2 of our deep dive. It's remarkable how much progress has been made. In atopic dermatitis treatment, we've come a long way from just topical creams and steroids.
Yeah, I'm really eager to hear about these advancements.
Yeah.
Especially the biologics and DRK inhibitors
Right.
that were mentioned in the research.
Okay.
It seems like they're really changing the game
They really are, yeah.
for people with moderate to severe atopic dermatitis.
These targeted therapies work
Yeah.
by honing in on specific molecules
Okay.
involved in that inflammatory cascade, offering a more precise way to control the disease.
And that's got to be giving a lot of hope
Absolutely.
to people who haven't responded well to the traditional therapies.
Yeah, it really is a game changer.
But the research also points out some challenges too, doesn't it?
Yeah, one of the biggest, I think,
Right.
is the sheer diversity of atopic dermatitis.
Right.
It manifests so differently from person to person.
Right.
So what works for one might not work for another.
So we can't just take this like one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to move towards more personalized treatment strategies,
Right.
taking into account individual factors like disease severity, triggers, genetic predispositions, even lifestyle. It's about tailoring the approach to fit the person, not the other way around.
And how do we make sure these new therapies are accessible
Right.
to everyone who needs them?
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Because these advanced treatments can be expensive,
Right.
and they're not readily available in
Yeah.
all parts of the world.
Yeah. It's a matter of health equity,
Absolutely.
making sure everyone benefits
Right.
from these innovations.
It really is.
So this brings us back to the exposome
Uh-huh.
and how that impacts individuals differently.
Yeah.
What's some of the research that's being done?
Well, it's a rapidly evolving field.
Yeah.
Researchers are working to map out
Yeah.
the intricate connections between our environment genes and the development of atopic dermatitis.
Wow.
They're looking at everything from air pollution and climate change
Yeah.
to diet and stress levels.
Yeah. It's amazing how these factors can interact
It is.
and influence the course of the disease.
Yeah.
Are there any particular insights that stand out to you?
One area that's gaining a lot of attention is the role of the microbiome.
Okay.
Those trillions of bacteria that live on and inside our bodies.
Right.
Studies are showing that imbalances in the gut microbiome can be linked to an increased risk of atopic dermatitis.
So could restoring a healthy microbiome
Right.
help alleviate symptoms?
It's a promising avenue of research.
Yeah.
We're learning that the microbiome plays a much bigger role in our health than we ever imagined.
Right.
And modulating it through things like diet probiotics or even fecal transplants could have profound effects.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
It seems like we're on the cusp of a whole new understanding
So.
of how to manage this condition.
Yeah.
But I imagine there's still a lot that we don't know.
Absolutely. And that's where the importance of continued research and education comes in.
Okay.
We need to invest in long-term studies
Yeah.
that track the progression of atopic dermatitis over time,
Right.
gather data from diverse populations, and explore new treatment strategies.
It sounds like a collaborative effort is crucial,
It really is.
not just between researchers,
Right.
but also involving patients, healthcare providers, and policymakers.
Absolutely. We need to create a more integrated approach to atopic dermatitis management,
Right.
one that prioritizes patient education and empowerment,
Okay.
fosters open communication between patients and their healthcare providers,
Yeah.
and ensures equitable access to care for all.
You mentioned patient education earlier.
Yes.
What can people do
Well,
to better manage their atopic dermatitis?
one of the most empowering things individuals can do is become experts in their own condition.
Right.
Learn about the different triggers
Yeah.
that exacerbate your symptoms,
Okay.
whether it's certain foods, environmental allergens, or even stress.
Right.
Keeping a detailed journal can help identify patterns and make those connections.
So it's about really paying attention
It is.
to your own personal nuances
Exactly.
and figuring out what works best for you.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to advocate for yourself.
Okay.
Ask your healthcare provider about the latest treatment options.
Right.
Explore alternative therapies like acupuncture or mindfulness techniques,
Okay.
and connect with support groups or online communities where you can share experiences and learn from others.
Yeah, that sense of community can be so powerful,
It really can.
especially for a condition that can feel isolating.
Absolutely. Remember, you're not alone in this journey.
Right.
Millions of people around the world are living with atopic dermatitis.
Yeah.
And by sharing our stories, supporting one another, and advocating for better care, we can create a brighter future for everyone affected by this condition.
You said advocating for better care.
Yes.
What does that look like?
It can take many forms.
Okay.
It could be as simple as having open and honest conversations with your healthcare provider
Right.
about your needs and concerns,
Okay.
or as proactive as participating in clinical trials,
Yeah.
or advocating for policies that improve access to care and research funding.
So it seems like every action, no matter how small,
I think so.
can contribute to progress
Absolutely.
in the field.
Even something as simple as sharing your personal experience with atopic dermatitis on social media can help raise awareness, reduce stigma, and connect you with others who understand.
We also talked about the research
Yeah.
that touches on the mental health challenges
Right.
associated with atopic dermatitis.
Absolutely.
It's not just the physical symptom,
It's not.
it's the emotional toll as well.
It is a heavy burden to carry.
What advice would you give to someone who's struggling with that aspect?
It's so important to acknowledge and address the emotional burden of atopic dermatitis.
Right.
If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek professional help from a therapist or counselor who specializes in chronic skin conditions. They can provide coping mechanisms and support to navigate the challenges.
Sometimes just having somebody to talk to
Absolutely.
who understands can make all the difference.
It can, and don't underestimate the power of self-care.
Okay.
Engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation.
Right.
Whether it's yoga, meditation, spending time in nature, or listening to music, can help manage stress and improve your overall well-being.
So as we wrap up part 2 here,
Okay.
are there any key takeaways you'd like to emphasize for our listener?
I think the most important message is that atopic dermatitis is a complex condition,
Yeah.
but we're gaining a much deeper understanding of its intricacies.
Okay.
And this new knowledge is leading to innovative treatment approaches, better prevention strategies, and ultimately a greater sense of hope
Yeah.
for those living with this condition.
It sounds like atopic dermatitis research is at a turning point,
I think so.
paving the way for a future where this condition can be effectively managed and potentially even prevented.
I agree.
So I'm really eager to hear more about these possibilities
Yeah.
in the final part of our deep dive.
Wow.
It's amazing how much we've uncovered.
I know, it's a lot.
In our deep dive into atopic dermatitis,
Right?
we've gone from the microscopic level of skin barriers and immune cells
Yeah.
to the global scale of climate change and exposomes.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is. So I'm really curious about where research is headed.
Yeah.
What possibilities are on the horizon for atopic dermatitis?
Well, one of the most promising areas is precision medicine.
Okay, yeah, the research mentioned that. What is that?
Basically, it's all about tailoring treatment to the individual,
Right.
using biomarkers and genetic information to predict how someone might respond to different therapies.
So it's moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach
Exactly.
and really embracing the uniqueness of each person's atopic dermatitis.
Right, and it's like creating a personalized roadmap for treatment
Yeah.
based on your specific biology and needs.
What kind of breakthroughs are we seeing in this area?
Well, one exciting development is the identification of specific gene mutations
Okay.
that increase the risk of developing atopic dermatitis.
So we might be able to intervene
Exactly.
at a much earlier stage.
Potentially even preventing the development of the disease
Wow.
in those who are genetically predisposed.
And it's not just about genetics.
Right.
What else?
Researchers are also looking at biomarkers in the blood, skin, and even the gut microbiome
Okay.
that can help predict disease severity and treatment response.
It's like having this window into the inner workings of the disease.
Yes.
And it allows us to make more informed decisions about treatment.
Precisely.
What other advancements are we seeing?
Another area that holds immense potential is the development of novel drug delivery systems.
Okay.
Imagine being able to deliver medication directly to the affected skin cells.
Right.
With pinpoint accuracy, minimizing side effects and maximizing effectiveness.
That would be amazing.
They would be a game changer for so many people.
Yeah. Are there any specific examples of these new drug delivery technologies?
Sure, researchers are exploring everything from microneedles that painlessly penetrate the skin to nanoparticles that can carry drugs directly to the target cells.
Wow.
Some of these technologies are already being tested in clinical trials,
That's incredible.
and early results are quite promising.
That's so exciting. It seems like we've come so far
We have.
in such a short time, but I imagine there are challenges too.
Of course, one of the biggest is the complexity of atopic dermatitis itself.
Right.
You know, it's not a single disease,
Yeah.
but rather a spectrum of conditions with varying underlying mechanisms.
Right. So how do we address this challenge and make sure that all these incredible new therapies
Yeah.
actually reach the people who need them?
Well, collaboration is key. You know, we need to break down the silos between researchers, clinicians, and patients.
Okay.
Fostering open communication and sharing of knowledge.
Right.
Large-scale clinical trials that include diverse populations are crucial
Yeah.
to understanding how these new treatments perform in the real world.
It sounds like a collective effort is so important
If it really is.
to drive progress in this field.
Absolutely. And we also need to address the issue of healthcare disparities,
Right.
ensuring that everyone has equitable access to these innovative therapies,
Yeah.
regardless of their socioeconomic status or geographic location, is paramount.
And this brings us back to the importance of education and advocacy.
Exactly.
Right.
Empowering patients to become informed advocates for their own health is crucial.
Yeah.
They need to understand their condition, ask questions, and actively participate in treatment decisions.
And we need to educate healthcare providers as well.
Absolutely. Make sure they have the tools and resources to provide the best possible care.
It's about creating a more informed and collaborative approach
It is.
to atopic dermatitis management.
Right, where patients and healthcare providers work together as partners.
And even beyond the clinical setting,
Yeah,
we need to raise awareness about atopic dermatitis in general.
absolutely.
Challenge misconceptions and reduce stigma.
Right. It's about creating a more supportive and understanding environment for those living with this condition.
Well, for our listener who's been with us on this journey
Yeah.
and has absorbed all this information,
I hope so.
I hope our deep dive has given them a deeper understanding
Me too.
of atopic dermatitis.
And a sense of optimism for the future.
Yeah, because it's clear that research is rapidly advancing,
It is.
opening up all these new possibilities for treatment prevention
Right.
and ultimately a better quality of life for people
Yeah.
with this condition.
The journey is far from over.
Right.
But the progress we've witnessed in recent years is truly inspiring. With continued dedication, collaboration, and a commitment to innovation.
Yeah.
We can create a future where atopic dermatitis no longer holds people back from living their lives to the fullest.
That's a really powerful message to end on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure.
It's been an incredibly enlightening journey.
And for our listener, remember, knowledge is power.
Yes.
And your journey toward better understanding and managing atopic dermatitis, whether for yourself or for a loved one, is just beginning.
It is.
Stay curious, stay informed, and stay empowered.
And thank you all for joining us for this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
Into the world of atopic dermatitis, we'll continue to explore all the latest advancements and share our findings with you
We will.
in future episodes. Until then, stay well and keep learning.